MSNBC is trying to convince you that there isn't an alt-left. And there is, but it's not in the way that Trump made it out to be. You see, the alt-left was something that I had a personal hand in creating, because the alt-left has actually existed longer than I've been alive, and then some. But the concept of the alt-left is the real left. We just call it the alt-left because, well, just like the alt-right is the real right-wing, not this neoconservative bullshit, the alt-left is the left before the neoliberal bullshit, before, the poop dick, before the identity politics. You'll never see nowadays a left-wing person talk about being anti-war, talk about being pro-environment, going against real corporate oligarchies like Monsanto, like Google, like Facebook, like everything. And yes, even Reddit, as much as they up and down vote, are just as bad as the fucking guys throwing themselves into, India and making slave labor out of the little boys and girls making shoes or whatever. It's just as fucking bad. But you're not going to see left-wingers talk about that, because they are not real left-wingers. They are not the alt-left. They are the normie left. And all the same, the alt-right believes in the power of memes, as does the left. The difference is, the alt-right thinks meme magic is real. That's why they worship Pepe. But, the left is very anti-religious, God no real, whatever. So, we know that memes are just a scientific paradigm. We know there has to be a science to what makes memes work, and how we can use it to propagate our message, like the CIA or the KGB. So, no, there is no meme magic. There's only meme science, and that's where synthwave comes from. But the point is that there is an alt left, but it's not an enemy, and it's not make believe. See, the neoliberals are going to just say it's make believe, because if they say it's an enemy, then they can't claim they're left wing anymore. So they'll just have to say it's make believe. Just like neoconservatives are in a tough spot because they can't claim that the alt-right isn't right-wing. I mean, they might try to. God knows they tried that with the Nazis and saying that they're national socialists. But the point is, now they just kind of have to keep their mouth shut because there's really nothing left for them to say. But the neoliberals still have the option of saying we don't exist, but we do exist. I had just the other day some fucker talking about how anti-Semitic I was because I'm anti-Israel. Didn't even deny what I said. I was like, this is ridiculous. Why are people going to defend Israel when they murder innocent little Muslim babies and they just, fuck? Do you know that they took a hose and spewed raw sewage in the city? You can look footage of that up. Just put a fucking hose in the sewer and just spray them because they said fuck Muslims. That's Islamophobia. You can't tell me that isn't real bigotry and racism and evil. But meanwhile, Israel has the right to self-determination. Does it really? Is it even really self-determined when it's a puppet of the American imperialist system? And and then even an Israelite commando corrected me and said it wasn't even raw sewage. It was sulfuric acid. That there's a bit of a difference. I mean, it's still horrible, but he was like, the raw sewage thing, that was just those Muslim monkeys' interpretation of what we were doing, but it was actually sulfuric acid. And this is coming from a Navy star. Not a Navy SEAL, because that's an American thing. They don't have SEALs in Israel, obviously. And also, the star, like the Star of David, so that's why they call it the Navy Star. But what I'm saying is that they do those types of things. And on top of that, there's the other elements. As we know, as I said, the left is, anti-religious. And how much worse can it get than a religion that thinks Jesus is in hell, bubbling in a cauldron of his own semen for his blasphemy against the Judaic belief system? You can look that one up too. I think I saw that on a poll thread. I'm not sure on that one, but I know I read that somewhere. I wouldn't just make that up. I couldn't make that up. That'd be too in-depth. So you'll have to look up some of the stuff yourself. Do a little investigating, do a little reflection, think about things. That's what the left is all about, is, having a discussion and fucking, using your intellect. Again, we are not a religious organization. We are a scientific-based organization. This is the dialectic.